speaking about United States, Canada, Britain. For them, that's all the same. They call all of you like Anglo-Saxons and consider you like a natural enemy. That's why in the year 2024, they captured all Europeans on the battlefield. But when they got this Australian guy, they just shoot him immediately. They didn't even bring him to Russia because for them, all these English speakers, native English speakers, they don't want to see them alive. Well, at least these troops, the Russian troops, for sure. And we considered in that opinion in captivity in prison.
Hi everybody, Michael here. Today's video I want to explain to British nationalists, stop simping for Russia and our enemies. Let's go. Okay, so I want to do this video. It's actually extremely important, and it's about the recent trend, especially among the right, of people simping for Russia. There's this idea that Russia, you know, they're a pro-white nation and they're against the EU who are destroying our countries. And there's generally this idea that Russia is somehow the good guy. And I'm not talking about the people, I'm talking about the leadership, such as Vladimir Putin. And this is encapsulated by, look at this tweet here from Graham Moore. He just sums up most nationalists. And there's a tweet here by Alexander Dugin, basically going on about Zionism. Surprise, surprise, a nationalist going on about Zionism as well. And Graham Moore says, very clever man. You should follow and take note of what he says, in reference to Alexander Dugin. Now, who is Alexander Dugin? Alexander Dugin is a sort of Russian philosopher. Apparently, he's like the brains behind Vladimir Putin, and he has influence on Vladimir Putin's worldview. And Alexander Dugin has been on a lot of right-wing podcasters who sort of simp after Russia. And he talks about traditionalism, and in some way, you can agree with what he says in terms of I'm a traditionalist as well, but I believe that Dugin isn't a complete traditionalist, or he's not correct in his traditionalism, and he actually has a tremendous amount of hatred for the Anglo-Saxons. And when I talk about the Anglo-Saxon, I mean the Anglo world. That means Britain, America, Australia, Canada, and the Anglo nations. And that Dugin sees the West, the Anglo-West, as the enemy of his project, and him and Putin have this idea of a Eurasian empire to replace the British and American empire, or the modern Western world. And the vision is that BRICS will take over from the West. And that's why you're seeing now the rise of BRICS, which is mainly Russia and China. They're both evil regimes. China is communist and Russia is theocratic. And they both subjugate their own people. And just look at who they're allying with as well, like Russia especially. They ally with the Ayatollah in Iran, pure scum. They ally with Kim Jong-un. You know, a lot of the soldiers are coming from a lot of these countries to help them in their war against Ukraine. And none of these countries believe in freedom, decency. They're all authoritarian regimes. And whilst, like Dugin, I agree, there are a lot of legitimate criticisms of the West in terms of liberalism and all that stuff. They are legitimate. But look in the mirror before you criticize us. Russia is theocratic, and the Soviet Union, Stalin, all that was a complete evil. So you're not good either. The same with the communist Chinese. You're a bunch of commies. You can't criticize us. The same with the Islamic world. You've got no right to criticize us in the West. Look in the mirror. As Jesus said, take the thorn out of your own eye before you take out your brother's eye. You know, I'm not going to take lessons off the Palestinians, off Hamas, and off the Ayatollah in Iran. And that's why it annoys me when I see so-called patriots in the West simping for Russia, for the Palestinians, for Hamas, for Iran. These are our enemies. And I believe that our people are so demoralised and they don't realise the game that's being played because BRICS want to take over the West, that they're deliberately demoralising us. And let me just give you some proof. I've got some quotes here from Dugin on the Anglo-Saxons, which is, as I said, British, Americans, Australians, Canadians. Let's just have a look at some of them. Okay, so I used ChatGPT to get me some quotes from some of Dugin's books on Anglo-Saxons. And let's have a look at number one here. It says, the Anglo-Saxon world is the main geopolitical enemy of Russia. It is the core of the Atlanticist civilization, which seeks global domination. So you can see, they see us as their main enemy. Number two is, liberalism is the ideological weapon of the Anglo-Saxon world. Through it, They impose their values, their economy, and their political systems on all other civilizations. Now, whilst, like I say, I somewhat agree that liberalism has been a disaster, they're not really offering any better solutions with their theocratic and communist leaders. So I'm not really going to take any lectures from them. But you can see, again, it's against the Anglo-Saxon. The third quote is the Anglo-Saxons represent the civilization of the sea, commerce, and individualism, while Eurasia represents the civilization of land, tradition, and hierarchy. So you can clearly see he sees it as the Eurasians against the Anglo-Saxons. So don't be naive enough to think this is some kind of friend of ours. Fourth quote is the United States and Great Britain are not simply states, they are instruments of the Anglo-Saxon global hegemony. And that is true. And that's why I believe the United States and Britain is under the biggest attack. Make no mistake, a lot of this demoralization is probably not done by the Jews, it's probably done by the likes of BRICS, by, I believe, Russia and China. They'll have money invested in subverting us, along with some radical Muslim sects as well. But these people are our enemy. Russia, China, Iran. And yet, who does our Western leaders or Western thought leaders on the right simp after? You've seen Tucker Carlson doing it, defending Iran. How many people didn't want America to bomb Iran? Their nuclear facilities. Yes, okay, we don't really want to go to war with Iran, the people, they're lovely people. But their leadership are scumbags and they need to be taken out. No doubt about it, especially with their nuclear weapons. But as you can see, Russia, China, Palestine, Iran, these are not our friends. And I'm talking about the leadership, not the people. And the fifth quote here, Russia's destiny is to resist the Anglo-Saxon project of a unipolar world and to help build a multipolar civilization. And again, there are legitimate criticisms of the way that part of the Western idea of spreading democracy and all that. I agree we shouldn't be partaking in that. But again, you can see there's an agenda of disliking the Anglo-Saxon world. Okay, so that's all the quotes by Dugin. And I've watched some brief videos of Putin saying similar things as well about the Anglo-Saxons. And I saw a video, I think it was by a Ukrainian in the war, talking about something along the lines of when they captured any other soldiers from other people, say from Africa or wherever, they just captured them and put them into prison. But when they saw any Anglo-Saxon type enemy, they would just shoot them dead because that's the disdain they had for Anglo-Saxon troops. So I'm just trying to do this video to tell people stop simping after Russia. And I understand most people haven't got the time to do their research. That's why I put out these videos, to let you know. And when you do your research, like this British nationalist going on, oh, Dugin's a really smart guy, you need to listen to him. If you do your research, the guy hates the Anglo-Saxons. They hate us. So stop simping for our enemy. It's the same ones who go, oh, free Palestine. The Palestinians, once they've got rid of the Jews, they'll be coming for the Anglo world, you know. Israel is the small Satan. The Anglo world is the big Satan. They're not your friends. They're your enemy. They hate you. They despise you. And it's most likely the same with the Chinese communist regime. The Anglo world represents freedom. We made our mistakes, but the Anglo world is far better alternative than the BRICS Eurasian empire of communism, theocracy, and liaising with radical Islam. We must be strong and stand and fight. And use the power of the spirit. And let's try and remove the bad stuff from our Western civilization, all this liberal democracy stuff, and return to a more traditional approach and be the light of the world. Because if the West falls and the individual freedom that the likes of America was founded on, if that disappears and we fall into a world of darkness, of communist, theocracy, radical Islam, European Union communism, then we're going to be falling into darkness. We must stand firm and fight. And don't get demoralized by these people and don't support these people. Do not support BRICS. Do not support all these people I mentioned in this video. Okay, so that's the point of my video today. If you like what I'm talking about, please like it. Share it with as many people as you can. Anybody simping for Russia and Putin, they think he's wonderful, share this video with them. People who think Dugin's good, share this video with them to let them know that he hates you if you're an Anglo-Saxon. And if you're new here, subscribe. God bless everybody today. Goodbye.